Unlocking marital bliss.
It's a pleasure to always talk about sex. And this very afternoon, I want to make it so clear. Sex is not something that your mama created, your papa created. It is not something from Hollywood. It is not something from any of the tabloids. Sex is a gift from God. And sex is not bad. It's only the way you present it. The moment you present sex negatively, the way it is being presented, these days you're going to see real trouble. But we need to present it in the best way possible, the good of sex, because sex is good. I've told you it doesn't belong to your mama, to your papa, or any of those people. To whom does sex belong to? Sex, the greatest gift that God has given to human beings. Without it, we wouldn't even be here. Who does it belong to? I want you to join me with my guests here at Unlocking Marital Bliss, and let's find out, who does it belong to? How can you enjoy it? Can we talk about it freely? We'll take it from there. It's always a pleasure to have you here at Unlocking Marital Bliss with Miss Iris Rod and with my special guests, the usual suspects. And tonight we are dealing with sex. Perhaps you're going to be asking, did he say it proper? Okay, I'll spell it. Sex. There's no other meaning. Sex is not bad. That's what I want to make so clear. Sex is not bad. The only thing that makes sex negative is the context in which it is delivered. The church and the people that know the good of it must talk about it. We should not leave it to the people who are gambling with it. They handle it anywhere they want. But tonight we're here to teach you and continue with this reality about sex. There is no going back. I want you to learn to understand so you can go forward. The last time we were here, we actually looked at the depth of it, the negative part of it, how it all started. I repeat, sex is not bad. Talking about it is not bad. It's the context. Other people reveal it using a context that is negative, that is into destroy. That's why it appears as bad. But the context, in the right context, sex stays good, for that's how it was made. It was created good. And you got to know the owner. You don't own it. You got to know the owner. You got to tell the difference between love and sex. When a man tells you, I love you, what do you understand as a woman? What do you understand? Hey, woman, when a man tells you, I love you, what do you understand? And dude, what do you understand when a woman says, I love you? What goes through your mind? We want to get to break that down. Without further ado, straight away, together, welcome with me, my usual suspects. On my extreme left, I have Brian Semfuma. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here on the show.
Always glad to have you here.
And
You do what you got to do
I'm
best.
so excited. I'm so excited.
Yes, and to my immediate left, I have Winfred Zizinga.
Thank you very much. I am very honored to be here.
Married to Mr.
Barry Godwin Zizinga, the one and only, a man.
A man.
Yes.
That's so important. Now, a man, Barry Godwin Zizinga.
Yes.
He's a blessed man to have you. Some people are watching you and thinking, is that woman okay? Is that woman? Who loves that woman? Who, all that is going on.
That man is there. He's alive. He's well. He's not dead.
Okay.
So he
Yes.
says he loves you.
And he says he loves me.
Amen.
And I believe it. What does he mean?
What does he mean?
Brian is about to explain that. Because what my husband means and what Brian means are two different
Two
things.
different things.
Might be two different things.
Well,
And Brian,
yes.
you're married to Angie.
Yes, I am. A woman.
Okay. A woman, eh? Angie, is she watching?
She definitely is watching.
She definitely is watching.
Yes.
Okay, that's so beautiful. So Brian is also married to a woman, a female, okay? You know, these days there's a lot of chaos. You know, one of the greatest things you men are so scared of today is not even being without money,
Yes.
but being a man. Nothing scares the male like being a man.
What does it mean to be a man?
Woo! They take off. Because to them, I mean, it's like disaster when it's about responsibility.
I don't think many see it that way. Brian will have his version of saying.
Well, you know, today we are talking about sex.
Are you scared of being a man?
I mean, if you're talking about sex, then you're a man.
Oh, Lord. Now, this is the reason why we have many men desiring to even change their gender and say, no, I'm a woman because I can't handle that man stuff. I'm a woman. But anyway, you guys, so I'm going to ask. The question came out already. What do you understand when a man says, I love you?
When a man says, I love you, to most of the girls out there,
Yeah.
he wants to sleep with you. Very few of the men say, I love you, and it is in context of holistic love.
Yeah.
But the the foremost thing is, I want to sleep with you. Because if it wasn't that, then when you say you love me, and I ask you, so what plans do we have now that you say you love me? And you say, are you moving too fast? Are we going to date for 4 years, for 5 years, for 6 years? Are we going to just look at each other? And then after 30 days, we need to take our relationship to another level. What does that mean? Sex.
To them, now that is very wrong. Brian,
I
what
like,
you guys?
I like
you
your
guys
introduction. I mean, you always. Well, I'll speak for a man watching me right now.
Yes, for a man out there.
One of the things that I really want to highlight right now is that the opposite sex, the females, I'm not talking about the men. I'm talking about male, female. The female have made it into a commodity. The sex, the word love, the word sex, everything is in. It's for buying and selling. It's trade kind of transaction, you know. So that's why it's very important for us to understand the difference between love and sex. Yes. For a man right now, when he says, I love you, because he's getting that trading feeling, he does not actually mean he loves you. He actually means, let's trade. I will give you my money.
And in return,
and you give me something.
Your body in return.
That's why today in our language, you say we get some.
But you see, now I think this is where real disaster is happening and many couples are failing. I love the way you've put it. Many people understand it as a trade. So love has been reduced to a place of trade. And in doing so, like you say, you give in the money and you expect the body in return.
Yes.
In fact, if you give in the money, first day, second day, a month, and you ain't saying nothing, then she will literally bring herself to where you are.
Absolutely.
And say, I just felt I could come and check on you, visit
because
your place.
We're told if he's not getting it from you, he's getting it from somewhere else.
But before we go there, you see,
it's twisted.
Before we get into that aspect, even, you see, it has crept into the church.
Absolutely.
That
Yes.
a couple starts by understanding that love and sex is a trade game. That when they enter into a marriage relationship,
It's still
it
trade.
continues. Because look, you've counseled so many couples, I'm sure. Many of them will come and tell you, especially the first guys, will come and tell you, look, I have done A, I have done B, I have done C. Everything is in terms of what I've been giving.
And so I got to expect.
Madame is not reciprocating.
She's fasting.
She is not returning, the service. I've paid for the service. I'm not
getting nothing.
I'm getting nothing. I am done for. That's why you get this scenario she's just talked about, that, you know what, if you're not giving me some, then I'm going to go invest in someone else.
But this is very dangerous. This is why many couples in church are failing.
But
equally.
Pastor Sarah, you know that many couples in church are fasting, especially the ladies.
Fasting?
Yes.
Fasting for what?
So because, yes,
No, if you're gonna fast or whatever you call it, you need to come together, mutually agree. So you don't fast
You will
and
he will
and
never
he ain't
agree.
fasting. No, the Bible says agree, so you must agree.
So if he doesn't agree, I don't think he will agree.
No, if he doesn't agree, then don't go in the fast.
Oh Lord.
Both of you agree. You get me? You agree. You got to come together and agree. But you need to understand, like Brian presented it here, you guys look at it as a trade and it hurts.
Yes.
It does.
You see many young ladies, a man gives her money, does this and does this, and then after 2 weeks, he's not saying anything, 3 weeks, then she shows up. Literally, you feel indebted
Yes.
because you're looking at it as a trade. So you feel indebted. I've eaten a lot of his money. And I don't think I have anything to give in return but my body. Now you trade your body, like you said, to pay back for everything you've eaten. And you hear men saying, she needs to pay back my money.
Yes.
Because I keep giving her and I'm getting nothing. But you see now, with all that talk, there is nothing called love over there.
Now,
That is
first
true.
put a pause right there. That's one aspect of a person. There's another aspect of a woman who says, I need to get his money. And all her friends are telling her the only way you can hook this man is by sleeping with him. Or, better still, give him a child. So, you see,
That's reducing
It is.
the man to zero.
You see, for us men, today, we don't understand the word love.
What happened to you?
Because
You're
of what
sick.
we've been watching soaps on TV that depict sex and love as the same thing.
Pause. Pastor Cyrus, when we are entering into marriage, marriage is sex. There is like in the previous program we talked about this. Marriage is sex. So everything that is talked to me about or taught me at that time is entirely about the bed. Now, I'm not saying that sex is bad. It is a beautiful thing, and when we look at the purposes, we'll find that it is absolutely beautiful in its context. But that's what we are told. Most of the problems today you find are, she's not giving me sex. She's not giving me sex. She's not giving me sex. So it revolves around that. Everything else seems to be okay when the sex is okay. And yet people forget that the sex can be okay and everything else is not okay.
Absolutely.
Everything else
because
is not okay.
they use the sex to cover up.
That is it.
To cover up. That's why you come up with this nonsense of makeup sex. Brian, you men, you need to learn something. There's nothing called makeup sex.
My God.
What do you mean?
Makeup sex is real. Like I said, Musumba, earlier, that I think the generations that we grew up in are totally different from the one we're actually administering knowledge right now. They're totally different. Makeup sex is so real and it's happening today.
Every day.
Whereby I
is
cannot communicate verbally. I cannot talk to you verbally, but I can express myself to you.
How?
You see, that's the thing. Our singers, if she will agree with me, they've told the girl child that, look, when you have this man, play the harlot, be like a prostitute, whatever that he wants, give him. Now, what is he trying to tell the girl child? He's trying to tell the girl child that, look, your body is a sex machine.
You're a sex object.
You're a sex object. And you see, that's what's happening. Look at how people present themselves on status, on their profile pictures. Some of the girls today, they are probably dressed skimpily, in a fashion that is probably suggestive.
Yeah.
And they put that picture on their status. Are they seeking approval for their body that God has not told you that he loves you? Or it has become a commodity?
They've reduced themselves to being a commodity.
Yes.
They've become objects.
So that's why the man is not entirely to be blamed for the response that we are getting today.
Yes, not entirely to be blamed, but here we are. When you are a man, responsibility is so different that when you meet a woman who literally dresses suggestively and believes she is an object because culture has affected her so much, because culture tells her she is an object for his gratification. You
She's
get
the
it?
author and the finisher of his piece.
She's the author and the finisher of his piece.
Pause right there. That's why we get a scenario of men thinking that sex is a need.
That without it they can't function.
No, they cannot.
Yes, without the context of God. It's a need that I cannot do any other thing until I get it.
And now that is when they look at it in that manner, it is still wrong. And this is why there is more chaos in this gift of God than anywhere else.
And that will take us back to something that you concluded with in the other show,
Yeah.
the emptiness. Why would I think God loves me less and show off my body?
You know, that emptiness, another way to put it, is the fear of rejection.
That is it.
Everyone is born with a fear of rejection. Is what is being commonly referred to as emptiness. But it's the fear of rejection. When Adam sinned against God, he rejected God. He thought God would feel the rejection. Adam ended up feeling the rejection. Yet he's the one who rejected God. And this is what happens today. You reject God, you feel the rejection, but you don't even realize it's because you're rejecting God. And what happens is the rejection, at that point, at one time he was being loved. He belonged. But right now, he has rejected God, he's pulled back, and now he realizes he doesn't belong. He starts working out a way to belong again, a way to cover up the fear of rejection. So when he works out a way, it's performance. The best you can do is, if they discover me for who I am, they won't accept me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to project an image. Look at what we sell today. Image is everything. You hear stuff like that. Image is everything. So most people project image. When they project image, this is what the ladies also do. They're empty within. In fear of rejection, you project an image. Absolutely. And so here is a man projecting an image and a woman projecting an image. And both of you come together when it's image and image. And the real beings are out. Image and image. Make believe. And you come together. And the only thing that can make you feel good at that point is the sex. Because when you come together with images, that's why you mentioned the women dress suggestively. I'm so empty. I don't want to be rejected. But if I have a skirt, as long as around here, a man can see some of my thighs, they're going to say, woo, she's hot. Woo, wow, woo. But you see everybody going, woo, she's hot. Is not in there for you. Everybody say, ooh, she's hot. Is just looking at the image and can say, if I can use that body and I walk on to give me a good feeling also, because the man is equally in fear of rejection. He's feeling empty. Everything is meaningless. He don't feel good. So in the end, a woman comes suggestively, like you said, you put stuff on the status, Facebook. Somebody, have you realized, you ladies, I mean, you hold selfies and then you start.
It's a look good face.
You see
It's a what?
A look good face.
You see how she set us up?
That ain't self-love. I mean, you're so twisted. I mean, what's going on? The problem is, I am so empty. I'm dying inside. I need somebody to love me. And when I bring my money, you think I'm loving you. No, I want to use your body to help fill up my emptiness.
Pastor Cyrus, she's setting us up as men when she talks about emptiness. Because let me tell you where this all starts from. You remember when we talked about earlier in some of the shows behind, we talked about the culture and how it affects the man in marriage.
Yes.
So this is where the build-up comes from.
Yeah.
I see my father totally dominate the home. He is the man. The other show I talked about probably calls and says, I am on my way, I find you in the bedroom. And mommy straight goes to the bedroom. So when she's talking to the girls, we're also listening in slowly, at a distance. She's telling them, when a man coughs, you respond.
You just catch.
You respond, yeah. So it builds up a certain feeling inside of us that you see, for daddy to feel daddy, he must be able to dominate mommy. Or when he wants to, when he gets out of his way and goes to work and feels bad, work is bad, things are stressing, he has lost work, his friends don't like him anymore, he comes back home and he gets a dose.
Of what?
Of sex.
Of sex.
Now this dose energizes, empowers, feels. That's why you see, it's a dose. I call it a dose because you have one in the evening, and in the morning you need what we call morning glory. You need another dose to set you up. Yes, because you see, scientifically they say when a man has sex, his persona changes, his outlook changes, his wisdom increases. Let me say it in Uganda. Kwegamba nga koleranga kabiriti. He's stirred up like a match.
Now,
Now, Pastor Cyrus, before you start teaching us, one of my friends actually, when she was getting married, her mom told her, men don't like chapatis that are not round. You know, like perfection.
Not irregular.
Not irregular. You know, when we make them at home, they can be any shape. They're going to the stomach. But the mom told her, do not make chapatis that are irregular. Do not, you are the man's piece. So when he comes from wherever he has been at work, all these things, that is regardless of where you have been or what you have been doing at home for some of the stay-home moms. When he comes home and he's so frustrated, he puts on that look. You're supposed to chase all the kids away and does him and ask him, honey, oh, what, and he's so sulky. But when you take him to the bedroom, everything is sorted. He'll come back feeling good. And in the morning, Pastor Cyrus, one time before I got married, a lady, people talk to you when you're going to get married. She told me, you see, when your husband, when you get married, it's good to have sex in the morning with your husband. So I asked her, what if I am not able to? She said, you know, it's the thing that he will be thinking about during the day. 7 seconds. It will take him through the day until he returns home to you. And then 1, 2, when he's going out to face lions, remember he also has a boss. So it gives him some sort of confidence. He is a man, his esteem is up because you have had sex with him in the morning. So mwana wange, a man is to be looked after. He is to be taken care of. You hold him like a baby. And when he comes back home in the evening, I had just returned from the UK, and I was told, you know how to do it the Western way. So when he comes home, take out everything you got in you to make him, to dose the man, like Brian says, to dose the man. So you do not, I will refer back to what you talked about. Empty and empty. There is no real you. So I am empty. My husband may not know I am empty. He is empty. I am not even aware that he's empty because I am not his boss. I can't satisfy him at his job. I cannot make him feel good at his job. If you were my boss and called me stupid and senseless and everything that there is, even if I came home, my husband is not able to fill that gap that called me senseless, stupid. He cannot feel it. So there is an emptiness. So when two empty people come together, I am seeking my own. He's seeking his own. None of us is seeking the interest of the other. So when we have sex, we feel good.
For a moment.
For a moment.
But it doesn't work. You know what is eating you up?
It's the works thing you talked about. So I'm working.
You working. When Adam felt empty, he sewed fig leaves to project an image, cover up the real him, and he thought it would be covered. This is what, you see, this is where we have a challenge. You say the man comes home and then you are his peace. Who's your peace?
Now, Pastor Cyrus, when you talk,
You see some of these things
when you
just
when you
so
start to teach,
ridiculous.
because many of the men do not think that women need sex or love sex. They don't think women love sex.
Because culture has told them you are objects. You are not human beings. That's why a man can come home and just say, I want to find you in bed. I mean, who are you talking to? This is a whole being. Who are you talking to? I want to find you in bed. Doing what? What did you bring me here for? You mean you brought me here to go to bed for sex? For sex.
That's it.
No, I got to take a break and I'll be back. We got to break this down because it's just getting weird in here. We got to get real teaching in here. I'll be back.
Unlocking marital bliss. Unlocking marital bliss.
Oh, yes, we're back. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss with me, Cyrus Rod. And I have my usual suspects in here. They're in house. And before we took a break, I was still making this clear. Guys, you guys literally are equating marriage
To sex.
to sex.
Yes.
That's what we're taught.
He is taught entitlement, that he is entitled to
Thank
it.
you.
The sex is your right?
Yes, it is his right.
Imagine they tell you you've been eating chapati.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now you're going to eat real food. So that means I am entitled to a real meal. So if the uncles can tell me about a meal, food,
And
sex, I'm talking about a celeb here. Food, sex. So if they have told me about food,
Okay.
then the second bit that I'm entitled to is sex.
so we are told.
Now you're no longer going
No,
to.
the way you say I'm entitled to,
Yes.
you guys need to really get
because
some help.
I am told that I
And what are
should
you entitled to?
to giving it to him.
Thank you. And they have mastered. They have mastered how to give it to us.
Yes.
Now, actually, they've learned how to control you.
Exactly.
They've learned how to manipulate you.
Thank you.
Because you've been reduced. This is what the Bible says, that a prostitute reduces a man
That is
to a
true.
piece of bread.
Uh-huh.
You see, a lot of men think, I'm a man. And one woman reduces you to a piece of bread. She can chew you to zero. She can tear you down, reduces you to a piece of bread. Why? Because you don't know who you are. You don't even understand. Sex is not an entitlement. It's not a right, Brian. Sex is not a right. And hey, look over here. 98% of women, this is my own statistics, but we're going to look out there. Look for 100 women and then do the math and say, how many of you really enjoy sex? I'm going to tell you that only 2 will tell you yes. Why? When you believe you're entitled, you come to get. You don't come to give.
To give.
Sex is about you coming in to give. You learn how to prepare her, how to hold her, how to love her, how to be there for her, how to commit only to her. You see, most of you men believe that, oh, if I'm a man, if I can sleep with 10 women, I'm a man. But the real courage is in your ability to stay committed to one, not in the 10. The 10 shows you've become dysfunctional. The 1 shows you a real man. Bring your question.
Now, Pastor Cyrus, we are talking to people who have one man. The ladies who have one man, and the man has one woman. you have say about 2 out of every 100,
Yeah.
give or take,
Yeah.
actually enjoy sex because the man has known how to prepare his bride.
Right.
He has known how to do everything right to get there.
Because he believes he's just a getter.
Now, my question is everything done right only in the bedroom
No, you see.
or on the bed?
Uh-huh.
Or is it done right every time, every day? You seek to do what is right. I know we fail, but do you seek to do what is right, or you only seek to do what is right there and then? Because, Pastor Cyrus, I have spoken to young people, even older ones. You tell your wife she's stupid. Right now, it's about afternoon. You tell her she's stupid, she's dumb, she's intellect zero, right? And you're so pissed because maybe the remote was misplaced and you don't know why she could not control the children. Misplaced. So she finds it, gives it to you. Now she leaves and goes about her business. So you go about your flipping of the channels. In the evening, you want to make everything good so that
You can collect.
you can collect on the gift. Is that what is? Because that is what happens in so many of these relationships. It's not that the man is not romantic enough. He's romantic in the bed.
No, that is so weird. You see, that is you reducing him to a piece of bread because he cannot be good anywhere else, and then he thinks he can be a man when he enters bed. A real man is able to take care of you. He doesn't come to get sex. A real man comes to give it. You get it? And he starts it with loving you. And he also acknowledges that you are not an object. You are not an object of his gratification.
First pause there, Pastor Cyrus. I need, there's a man watching me right now and he's thinking, why is Brian so quiet? You know, let me put it this way. For the things you're saying, they're probably true. Someone watching is thinking,
let's remove the probability.
They are true.
Thank you.
Someone watching is thinking, wait a minute, I'm from church.
Yeah.
I've been in church. My pastors or mama in the church, pastor's wife is telling me, when are you adding another child? And then he's talking to me, the man, or talking to her individually, not together. Yeah. That when are you?
What is happening?
When are you procreating again? Why is it that there's one child now? And so the picture that is being painted to me right there is, hey, go get something done, okay? So the picture that I'm seeing right now is that this man has been reduced, even by church, to think that my wife is a machine that produces sex,
a baby factory.
Or a baby factory, or a sex object.
Yes.
So even the time of pleasure that she's talking about, the goodness, the things, because also the women have reduced us to that piece of bread. And vice versa. So the woman tells you, what kind of man are you? You can't even bring a kavera at home. So in other words, you're not going to get me until you perform. So because I'm empty, I'm going to go out there and think of how to bring a kavera so that I can get myself some. Now we are talking about a man who is not pushy.
If you knew your responsibility, you don't have to come home with a kavera all the. I mean, it's part of you. And then the singers to tell me that, if he doesn't come home with a kavera, he's inadequate. Okay, Pastor Cyrus, forgive me. There are some young, not men, boys out there who are married, who do not know responsibility, anything about responsibility, that they need to take care of their homes, they need to take care of their wives, their children. No. They know nothing about. He sits there and folds his arms.
Winnie, you've said it's all right. Now, this is where somebody's out there, all they need, and this is usually the young boys out there. You know, you look at a guy, and all he tries to do is work out in the gym and build a six-pack. Okay, and you girls want the guy that does a six-pack, and you don't want the dudes that have a one-pack.
He's embrace.
He's what?
Embrace. I mean, he holds you tight.
I told you.
And then what about the one with one pack?
Oh boy.
And he can't hold
Now,
okay. It's the exchange. I told you.
Now, you see, it's the exchange. You've reduced yourself to the guy coming home. You want him to do a six-pack. He spends 8 hours in the gym. You get me? No work. 8 hours in the gym, building a six.
The bed is shaking.
The bed is shaking.
The marriage is working.
Oh no, that's weird. Let me tell you, if your bed is shaking, what are you gonna eat? You're gonna eat bed? You know, you're gonna take your bed to school to pay for your fees?
Absolutely not.
You see, this is where the problem is. Most of these things that have been said, when the bed is shaking, the marriage is working. No. We need to understand the purpose of sex. When the purpose of sex is not understood, abuse is inevitable.
Exactly.
So all these things over here is abuse.
Think about this. You are teaching so well right now. There's a gentleman watching us, or gentleman watching us, or the boys watching. They have a group of friends who, because of emptiness, they can't define love and sex, a difference. And they're thinking to themselves, because of the conversations they have, that, hey, what's going on at home? Man, we just had 3 times. Man, you're amazing. Me, I'm having 2. My wife is not performing very well. You see,
I'm not having any.
and I'm having just once a week. So what am I trying to say? The dynamics has totally changed for this generation. The performance, because I'm empty and the image is working right there, I need to have more feeding or dosing so that I fit into my group of people. Now I'm talking about a man, a typical man. My group of people are enjoying 4 or 5 times a day. Me, because I'm trying to work out something, I am not performing. I am judged based on underperformance in terms of the bed or the sex. In fact, most of them who are watching, they will recommend for me a medical person. Go visit this guy. Probably you need Viagra or some local herb, Mulondo, so that you can energize the system. Because they will tell you, if your wife is not happy in bed, the home is going to be messed up.
No, but you see, there's a problem. People usually say if your wife is not happy in bed, these women have, because of this emptiness and the ignorance about sex, they don't care. They've learned that you're a non-performer. Their real happiness is not going to start from bed. It's must be there when you're out of bed. You get it? Most of these guys, I've counseled people. A woman comes in, drives a Range Rover, latest edition, private number plates, personalized number plates. Everything is in there. And then she comes in with her shades. She's got a hat on, steps out and says, oh yeah, you gave her a sit. When she takes off her shades, you're like, what happened to you? He beat me up. He beat me up. And what was the reason? Well, I found him in bed with a campus girl. And he told me, close the door. Wait until I'm done. So when the campus girl left, he turned to me and said, you better have manners. Okay? You knock before entering. Now, this is her own bedroom.
Didn't you get what you want? You wanted a Range Rover.
You wanted a Range Rover. You wanted a house. But you can't have me. Now, this is where most men are, and this is where women are. I'll get whatever I can from you. And the men are like, you can take all of this, but you won't have me. Because the man is so scared to give himself away. He's empty. What does he give? If he thinks I'm going to give myself, it's like, I'm going to give nothing. No. You don't even know who I am. I can't tell you everything about me because you'll reject me in the end. Now, with all that pain that continues, women can be happy without even having sex. I'm telling you, sex should be just the climax, the outpour of what they've had out here. When you go to bed, it's just the climax of what has been building up the whole day, the whole month, the whole year. Not this stuff of, I call you ridiculous, stupid, and everything, then expect you to perform a miracle in bed because now I want to go and get it.
Pastor Cyrus, like Christ loved the church, because the way he loves the church, It's not a one-off. It's not,
No.
Winnie, I need you to go and preach to Dave. So he's going to love on me so I can go and preach to Dave.
No.
No, that is not the way it is. And some of these young men who are watching me are the young boys. They do not know or do not think that sex is a journey. I mean, it does not start in the bed.
Absolutely.
It does not start in the bed. And it is not a make me feel good thing, because that
They're taking it as a drug.
it can't happen.
Weed.
Let me ask you a question.
Weed. You get a high and you go down. Then you get another high and you go down. You men are taking sex as weed.
Where do we draw the line with that proper teaching that you've just done right now, where the build-up to the bedroom?
Yes.
Where do we draw the line from the women in this generation who have reduced the man, like you said? The man is doing everything, probably in the morning, or, help her out with this, do this in the day, do this in the night.
This is how it works.
And then later tries to, get some, and then she says, you forgot to get me flowers on top of that. So because of that,
No. You see, because most women reduce men to a piece of bread. And the reason they reduce men to a piece of bread, because the men are empty. They don't even know who they are. So as they are reducing them, they're easily saying, yes, ma'am, until they become a piece of bread. That whatever I want to eat is about you. You get me? So now, this is what happens. Now they can manipulate you. That one is called witchcraft, according to the Bible. Yes. It's witchcraft. You see, witchcraft is not you go around, then wear some backcloth and then do. No. It's the ability to control, or the desire to control one spirit and dominate it. Yes. Nobody's supposed to dominate any other man's spirit. Yeah. We are created in the image of God. Right. So now, because I cannot talk to you with vulnerability, so I use manipulation. So you get to the bedroom, I say, you didn't buy me flowers. This is what you got to do as a man. You got to tell her, hey, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Real women don't behave like that. You want to manipulate me by using sex. Sex is a gift. You totally don't understand what it is. Now you're trying to manipulate me. That must stop. And let me tell you what, I'm not going to buy those flowers until you grow up and you realize the purpose of sex and how to go about it. Don't manipulate me with sex.
True. So I'm asking as a man.
We need some men.
So I'm asking as a man, what is the difference then between my right? Hey, man, you're watching me. I'm doing something. My right, and this gift that we're talking about.
Now, the woman needs to come to that place where she knows this is a gift. When I look at Christ, for real, we are not perfect. Far from it.
Yes.
And yet, even when he saw us to decide that I'm going to give you my son to die for you, there was no perfection. There was nothing to even work towards. Make us worthy. Yes. So this gift of sex, when we give it, it is not because he has done everything perfectly, but because of honor. I honor the one who gave it to us as a gift, to give it to my husband, and for him to enjoy it. So for me to tell you that, oh, you didn't bring me flowers, now I am so, the mood has gone, I'm sulking, that is stupidity.
Exactly. And most of the women are at that level. But let's break down the purpose of sex. Then we can let others, let's see where others are falling, because they're watching. They can say, oh, I guess I've been abusing sex because I don't even know the purpose. The purpose of sex, many people say it's for procreation. But you see, we need to separate purpose and benefits.
And that's where the twist is.
That's where the twist is. Purpose and benefits. You get it? Now, the purpose of sex is not procreation. Procreation is a benefit of sex. Because if the purpose of sex was procreation, then if you had sex with your wife and there's no children, then you would have a right to walk away and say the purpose is not being fulfilled.
Our culture, you see where our culture has distorted the love and the purpose of sex.
Yes.
Because then when you get married, in fact, on that wedding evening,
Yes.
the speakers are going to say, today we are launching the children. Because then that means that if I sleep, you see, if you read statistics, women are more scared of getting pregnant than even the diseases themselves. So for them, the purpose of sex has been reduced to procreating.
Baby factory.
Baby factory. And that's what's happening today.
Yeah.
Don't sleep with me. I'm not ready to give birth.
Now, that is very disastrous. Procreation is not the purpose. You get it? It's a benefit. And the kids show up, it's a benefit. The purpose of sex, it's a gift. God created it. One, that husband marries wife, okay? They become one. You get me? Now they open up to each other. They're so vulnerable. But for a man to be vulnerable, this is why I say you must connect with God. For a woman to be vulnerable, you must connect with God. From you receive from God, then you are able to give. But you see, you can't give to somebody without you having received from God. You can only manipulate each other. You're empty. So this is what happens. God says, now that you are one, you get it? Staying together, there's something that I made, and it's a gift. Sex. It's for my glory. Listen to that. For my glory. But how do I get? Remember, everything God does was never for us. Revelation 4:11. For you are worthy to receive glory, honor, and power. For you created all things for your own glory, for your own pleasure. And perfect gift comes from God. Now, God created sex for his own pleasure. So how does he gain the pleasure? When you do it his way. You get this? As you do it his way to honor God, to please God, so there's no way you're going to come and say, I'm entitled to this sex, because you're not going to demand for it. You're going to come to give because you know she does not have anybody to be able to minister to her. And I don't have anybody to minister to me. So when I'm coming to do ministry that God may gain the glory. Now, if I am able to minister to her and she's enjoying, then I end up enjoying in return, and God gets the glory. So God gets the glory through the two of us having pleasure.
Pause.
Both of
Pause. I like the things you're saying. Now, does that mean God enjoys me having pleasure in sex when I am married?
1,000,000,000%. Outside marriage, God is not enjoying. God is not benefiting anything.
Why is it that the church today has painted a picture that God is looking away at this married couple? Hurry up, please. Then after you come and we talk. That's how God is. Why is that picture being painted so clear?
The picture is painted in that manner because the painters of that picture are ignorant. Number one, painters of that picture have never renewed their minds. They don't know what they're talking about. They want to have their sex, but they don't even understand it. This is about God. In fact, God enjoys you holding your wife very well, treating her so good, handling her so good that she can say, Jesus, amen. Hallelujah. You are Lord. Thank you for this. God is gaining glory. Now, many of them don't even want to mention Jesus in bed. I'm telling you, this is so real. In our bed, I can mention Jesus. She can say Jesus. Hallelujah. This is it. Why? Because without him, you cannot really perform. He empowers you to make her daughter happy there.
Our counselors have said, use some swear words so that, man, this thing...
Because the minds are still dirty. We really believe that the more I talk evil and all this and whatever, or if I mention Jesus, then, my libido will die. And I'll go, no. Jesus created it. He loves sex. God loves sex.
I'm not going to mention, but I've had a pastor say once that don't play Christian music then how do you get someone functioning in the bedroom?
You see, one of the things we have failed at, we believe that, especially the men, you get it? A woman can literally be in the mood and ready by simply loving her.
Say that again, Pastor, to the cameras.
A woman can be in the mood and very ready for the bed to make love by you simply loving her. Not you coming in and then you come and you turn the lights low, then you play music, bam, bam, and you play the dirty stuff. You know, you go, then you say, "Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? Yeah. Hey, man, what do I do next? Let me change the record. You bring in another one. How about that? I'm not there. A slow one. I'm not there. You know what? Let's just go." Now, really, if you love a woman, you may not even need any music. Oh my God. Love can literally touch her body and turn it into nothing but a miracle. Because her body is a miracle.
Sex is not love. Or love is not. So,
Sex is not love. Love is not sex. Let's separate the two. Sex is not love and love is not sex. You get it? Huh?
Marriage is not sex.
Marriage is not sex. And sex is not marriage. But you see, when you love one another and you're married, sex is one of the things you share, one of the gifts you share. Because God made my body different, made her body different. You get it? And because they're different, he said, actually, I do not minister to myself. She has to minister to me.
Now, Pastor Cyrus, you spoke something earlier on about God finding pleasure in a man having fulfillment. I'm talking about the marriage.
Yes.
And the woman having fulfillment.
Yes.
Most of the marriages today
Yes.
are not there yet. The woman may not, yes, the woman will give it because
Until she gets tired.
Until she gets tired.
By the way, a couple came to me for counseling the other day. They're believers, born again. And they said, "Hey, we've been married for 3 months, but I can't take it anymore." I say, "What's the problem?" And she said, "This man, because we read this book about needs. You know, you gotta meet his need. The number one need of a man is sexual gratification. If you don't meet it, he will go around and find it somewhere else." That's ridiculous. Now, you don't go around and find it somewhere else. To go around and find it somewhere else is evidence that you're dysfunctional. You don't know how to commit. So I told these guys, hey, this shouldn't end in divorce. I had to literally help the guys to unlearn, understand the purpose of sex, and then not to abuse it. And the marriage was saved. So what happens is, you women need to also change your mind.
True. That's very right.
But we men take the upper hand. If a woman comes and all she desires is the money, and she says, "Oh, I need an iPhone Pro Max 13.
And you buy it.
Bring the iPhone Pro Max, put it on the table, and say, "Are you happy?" "Oh, thank you, sweetie." I say, no, don't go there. Let me tell you something. I can give you the money, I can do all that without loving you. You hear me? Without loving you. But when I love you, I can easily give it to you without you even asking. The benefits come in. You get it? So now the reason you're looking at me as an object, as some kind of an ATM that dispenses cash anytime you're in need, is because you're very empty. Only God can fill you up, but you're trying to use me to be God. I ain't God.
But then, Pastor Cyrus, sometimes the women have come out to say, "I am not ready," right? "I am not ready to have sex." There's things that we need to talk about.
Yes.
No. It's not makeup sex. You had, there are things you said in the day. There are things you have not done right that my emotions are not there yet. Nothing about me is there yet. Yes. Why is it that you shut the women down?
Let me tell you, a typical man, this is what I'm thinking. You're trying to hinder me from getting sex. Let's first get the sex, then we talk about. Let me tell you, this is how we men think. We want to have the sex, and then kind of like a peaceful atmosphere. Okay, then we can talk about the issue that she's raising. You talk to me badly. Okay.
But that is twisted. Still, the man is in selfishness. I want to get. I want to get.
And that's what you need to highlight, because I think for us, the typical men, we are self-centered. We are thinking about what we can get from any relationship, irrespective of the fact that I can buy you. Probably I'm making 6 figures.
Yes.
I can buy you an iPhone.
Yes.
But I am empty, first of all. And I am what I need.
So I fear to give anything away without a condition. Yes. So my iPhone got to come with some benefits. No, but you see, I'm reducing myself to a piece of bread before this woman.
But before I reduce you to a piece of bread, I am asking you, thank you for the iPhone. Even you know you did something wrong. Why did you buy me the iPhone? You know there's something that is not right.
No, you see, this is what I should do. I can even buy you the iPhone, you get it? But I need to teach you, wash you, cleanse you, and get you away from loving money so that you may begin loving me.
The man themselves, the men, need to be educated as well. We need to unlearn.
This is what I'm saying. I know our time is running out. Maybe we need to do a third on this. God help. But this is what I want to say. I mean, women need to change.
We need to unlearn.
But if we don't understand the purpose of sex, we are finished. We will abuse it, abuse it, abuse it, and then just come with different ways of, oh, women, change the style, change this. It's not about the styles. It's about the ignorance. You don't know the purpose of sex. Take 10 seconds and say it to the men out there that are watching.
Young man watching me right now, sex is very good. It's very awesome. It's beautiful. God created it. It's His. So because we don't understand it, ask Him to help you. Ask Him to fill you. Don't get it in the sex. Ask God to help you, you individually, as a man, you. Put your house in order. Get in line with God. And then the other thing will be so beautiful.
That is so awesome. Winnie, our time is running. I'll give you a look into the camera.
The ladies out there, it is not right to deny your husband sex. I'll say that again. It is not right to deny your husband's sex. And to the men out there, when she says no, ask why. Instead of throwing a tantrum, ask why. Because it is an honorable thing. It is a beautiful thing to actually enjoy it and say, oh, Lord, you made this. Hallelujah.
It's always been a pleasure to have you tuned into Unlocking Marital Bliss. And I don't take it for granted. But I want to make it so clear to you. We've talked about sex and we're still going to bring out probably the last section of it. I want you to never forget, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And all the abuse we are seeing all around is because we don't understand the purpose of sex. But you now know it's not even just about you. No, it's about God. If you understand that, you're going to enjoy sex. Your children will enjoy it, and your children's children will enjoy the sex. And I'll make it clear, never change. This is the station where you can always be. And I'll be able to see you next time right here at Unlocking Marital Bliss.
Unlocking Marital Bliss.